Welcome to East Tennessee Pinball. Today I'm working on the spank shot. I think just one last thing left to repair. Game's working. I'm in a game play right here. I'll show you kind of what's doing. So the theme of this is basically knock down all the balls. So I'm just gonna real quick knock them down. So I've got one left. A couple. So I've got the one left. When I shoot the 10 ball here, I'll have the whole table done, and then this wow light will light. So that's going to work. So now the wow light is lit. So when I hit the wow light, because I have this this is an out of ball version of the Sure Shot. So there's Jones plug in the back to turn it on the out of ball. It's on the out of ball. When I hit this, it should move that out of ball up. And it's already got two out of balls on there, which is very strange. Let me start the game over. See if that clears. Okay. Oops. Gotta put the ball in, have it kick out before it starts the game. There. Okay. Okay, now I got the one switch left. I'm gonna light that. Now the out of ball is lit. This is the wow button. So I hit this, and these lights should progressively light up. These are basically where it keeps track of your balls, extra balls. And so I'm gonna hit this. You hear the knockers going, giving you this, announcing the free ball, but it's not advancing it. So there's a unit on the back. So let me show you how weird this is on the schematics. So here's where, it's coming in from this side, and don't really need to worry about this too much, because what you can see right here is that knocker right there, and that's the knocker's working. There's a split there, and it's on the out of ball. The knocker's working, so for sure that add light box advance unit, there's no switches, there's nothing. It's the same wire per the schematics. The schematics are not a literal drawing. Well, they're a literal drawing of what the wires are, but there's potentially Jones plugs or anything. But that's all in the head, so there really shouldn't even be a Jones plugs connection. It should just be wired up. So if the knocker's going, why isn't the light box advance unit going? Well, first thing I thought was bad coil, so let's measure the coil. So this is the light bulb advance unit, and this is the coil that steps that up. I got the jumpers hooked up to multimeter, and I measure 8 ohms. That seems fine. Shouldn't be a problem there. But it's not working. So, like I said, there's really nothing going on here. I have got out the schematics and looked at the continuity between this orange and black wire that fires this, and I'll show you on the schematics. It'll be easier. That orange and black wire on that advance unit, I measured continuity between that wire there and the white wire on the knocker down in the cabinet. Basically no 0.2 ohms resistance. So that wire right there is connected to that one, and that one's working. I've also measured continuity between those two grounds on the other side, those two black wires on the knocker and the light box. Both, again, 0.2 ohms resistance. So, it's like, what is going on? So the next, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally went ahead and did it. I made myself a little array of incandescent bulbs. I've got 4 of them, and they're wired up in series. Let me lay them out so you can see them a little bit better. So I've got 4 of them in series. These are made for 6 volts a piece. So since they're in series, ideally they'd have 24 volts. You see on the schematics, this is a 25 volt system for the solenoids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up across that coil in the back box, the one that's not working. And when that thing's supposed to fire, if it's getting a signal, these things should flash. Okay, so I've got the two jumpers, the black and the red, and you see they're just basically running through this array of 4 bulbs in series. So if this thing gets a pulse of power across those 2 leads, these things should fire up. So I'm gonna hit the switch here. I'm gonna hit this switch here, which should kick. We'll hear the knocker, and it should flash these lights if that is getting power. Sure enough. So a nice strong flash, which means we're getting the 24 volts to the coil, but it's not firing. And it's not a matter of being sticky. I've even pulled the plunger in part way to see maybe if it's down too far to grab it. That doesn't help. I'm measuring resistance, but maybe if I pull this thing out of circuit, maybe I'm measuring resistance because it's in circuit. Maybe I've got something measuring something else that's in parallel. So I'm gonna take this coil out and measure it again. All right, so I desoldered one of the lugs off this, one of the wires off one of the lugs off the coil. So it's isolated from the circuit. You only have to do one side, you don't do both. And I've got this hooked up to my multimeter, up and around, and you know, it's no continuity at all. So I got a bad coil. I'm gonna pull this off. Hopefully, you can't see the backside. Hopefully it's just the copper wire is broken and I can maybe take a wind off and resolder it on there. We'll see. Well, it's a little bit of a mystery. I pulled the paper off this, and it looks, the leads don't look broken. The coil the sleeve slid right out. It doesn't look heat stressed, but there's no continuity to cross those 2 lugs. So I don't know. That one doesn't look like it's soldered very well. I'm going to resolder that, and maybe that's all it is. We'll see. So I resoldered the wires. They were kind of wrapped, but not very well soldered, and that didn't change anything. I may go ahead and snip these and just pull a turn off, and maybe it's broken right at the end. We'll see. Well, that's exactly what it was. So this one was wrapped around to there, and this piece here, you can see the back side of it through the plastic. I started to unravel it, and it was broken right there underneath there. So I'm going to grab that with a little pick or something and get a turn off. One turn off the coil and resolder it, and we'll be good to go. So I got this coil fixed up. That one lead that was sticking out the side, it was buried underneath, so I couldn't unwind it. So it was just sticking out about ½ an inch. So I just soldered on a little wire and wrapped it up here, and measured about 5 ohms, so it should be good. All right, I got the coil back in the game. Everything's wired back up. I've got all the lights, or all the shots made, except for the number 10 ball. I'll hit that one. It lights this, and I should light that bulb there when I hit this. And there it is. So that's my free ball right there. If I hit it again, you got a second free ball. So just for fun, put it there. And it took one out. So put the ball down again. There we go. And now we're still in 5 ball. Do it one more time here. There we go. By the way, if you're watching the scoring, it wasn't scoring every bing. Basically, the way the bonus does, it goes da 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 da. So it does 3 sets of 5, and if the light is lit, it basically only scores. So it goes through all 15 positions every time, and it only scores if that ball's been made. So it's kind of a cool way to do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Cheers.